Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's story is a channel first and from the incredible mind of our brother from another mother, CryptidsRoost, a fellow writer and creepypasta narrator over here on YouTube. As ever, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help both the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. And so, with that aside, let's get into tonight's story, entitled The Ravenswood Monster Hunters. Let's get straight into that. The small town of Ravenswood was plagued by a terrifying creature known as the Dogman. It was said to be a creature that was half man and half dog, and with glowing red eyes and razor-sharp teeth. It was a creature of legend, but the people of Ravenswood knew it to be all too real. It had been attacking and killing their livestock for months, and the town was in a state of crippling fear. The citizens couldn't go one night without hearing the next dawn of one of their own being picked away in the night. Who among them, they had always wondered, could stand against such a terrifying scourge? This beast, this Dogman, or he'd proven to be too much even for the police to handle. That is, until one man decided to stand from the crowd. Jack, a young man known for his bravery and hunting skills. And he decided that he was going to put an end to this, but he couldn't do it alone. And so he gathered a team of the best hunters he could find in the town, far and wide, having displayed their skills in a test in a game hunt, and set out into the woods to hunt the Dogman. As they entered the woods, the atmosphere was eerie, and the air was thick with tension. On all sides, the trees around them were thick and close together, boxing them in. And looking around, each and every one of them knew there was no getting out of this forest. There was no turning back. Only they or the Dogman would be leaving alive. And they knew they were facing an extremely dangerous creature, and they were aware that this may be their very last game hunt. They set up camp and began to track the Dogman. They searched for days, but it was as if the creature had vanished into thin air. One night, as they sat around the campfire, discussing their next move, they heard a blood-curdling howl in the woods. They knew they had found their target, but where? That sent a chill down their spines. They quickly packed up camp and set out to track the howl. As they followed the howl deeper into the woods, the trees grew thicker and the darkness more intense. They knew that they were getting close. And suddenly they came across a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood the beast. It was even more terrifying than the legends had described. It stood on its hind legs, towering over the hunters, and its glowing red eyes locked on its prey. Each of the men stood, and despite each of them being hardened men, ones that had seen the likes of vile rabid game, they had never before seen something so terrifying, so gargantuan, so tyrannical as the Dogman that stood before them now. They could feel, each of them, this thing's burning red eyes peering straight through their corneas, straight through their brains and into their hearts. "That's it," said Jack, his heart pounding in his chest. "That's the Dogman." The hunters raised their weapons and prepared to fire, but the Dogman was too fast, and with lightning speed it charged at them, its razor-sharp teeth bared, ready to rend flesh from bone, without even a single worry of them dulling. The hunters fired, but their bullets seemed to have no effect on the creature. "We have to take it down, now!" Jack shouted. The hunters fought bravely, but they were no match for the Dogman. It was far too strong, far too fast, and just far too ferocious. Jack was thrown to the ground, and he thought that this was the end of him. He watched as two of his other companions had been slammed into a tree, instantly crushing their skulls to paste. The third. Jack watched in horror as all he could do, as the Dogman lifted the poor bastard by his head and ripped it clean from his shoulders, dousing both of them in warm metallic crimson. But Jack had all but given up hope. There was nothing he could do. His men were dead and the Dogman would have him next. And the Dogman approached, the ground quaking in fear with every step he took forward. Snarling, the Dogman opened its mouth. And suddenly, Jack remembered something his grandfather had told him. He remembered the legend of the Dogman and how it may be defeated. For, like many creatures of native lore, they all bore a very distinct weakness to silver. And with a surge of strength, Jack rose to his feet and pulled out a silver knife. The Dogman turned to face him, snarling defiantly, and Jack plunged the knife into its heart with a furious roar. The creature let out a blood-curdling howl and fell to the ground, dead. Jack stood, adrenaline forcing his heart to thump and pound in his chest harder than it ever could. "We did it," Jack said, his voice shaking with emotion. "The town is saved." He returned to Ravenswood as a hero. He was greeted with cheers and congratulations from the townspeople. Jack went to see the mayor to report what had happened. "Jack, oh God, Jack, I can't thank you enough," the mayor said, a look of relief plastered upon his face. "The Dogman has been terrorizing our town for too long. You saved us all." "It was my pleasure, sir," Jack replied grimly. "But I couldn't have done it without the help of my men. God rest their souls." And the mayor nodded. "Ah, you're right. This is a team effort. They were brave men who gave their lives, and I want to make sure that everyone is recognized for their bravery. I will be holding a town meeting tomorrow to present medals of honor to you and holding a commemorative memorial to the rest of your team." Jack couldn't believe it. He had never thought of himself as a hero, but to the town he now was. He felt a sense of pride and accomplishment wash over him. But their victory, it was short-lived, as they soon realized that the Dogman was not the only creature terrorizing the town. The legend of the werewolf was also true, and it had been seen recently in the forest. Jack knew he would have to act fast before it does any real harm to the town. He set out again into the forest to hunt the werewolf, and this time he was better prepared, and he had silver bullets on hand for when the inevitable time would come to face down the beast. He searched for days, but the werewolf, it was elusive. The werewolf was far more agile than the Dogman before him. And then one night, he sat around the campfire, pondering his next move. And just as with the Dogman hauntingly familiar to him, a blood-curdling howl echoed through the forest. It was even more terrifying than anything he had ever heard. It was a howl that would even make the Dogman before shudder. But before he even knew what was happening, its eyes, its burning yellow eyes, were fixed upon him. The young hunter, the hero, raised his weapon and fired. But the werewolf was too fast, bounding from treetop to treetop. From one, it bounded like a panther towards him, and with its teeth and claws bared. He fired his silver bullets, and after a few, perhaps 3 or 4 misfires, his aim came true, and the werewolf let out a final howl before crashing to the ground, dead. Jack felt a sense of relief wash over him. He had finally put an end to another terror that had been plaguing the town. He looked at it, and he looked back towards the town, imagining the same relief in the eyes of the townspeople. He had done it once again. And as he made his way back to the town, he was once again greeted as a hero. The town threw a huge celebration in his honor. Once more, the mayor presented him with a medal of honor. Jack felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, but as he looked around at the townspeople, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of sadness. He knew that this was not the end. There would be other monsters out there, lurking, other battles he would have to fight, but for now, he was content to bask in the glory of his victory. As the days went by, Jack became known as the monster hunter of Ravenswood. He was called upon whenever there was any kind of creature, any kind of behemoth monstrosity terrorizing the town. And he always answered the call, ready to face whatever gargantuan behemoth that plagued the town. In the years that followed, Jack faced many challenges, but he would always emerge victorious. He became a legend in his own right, and his name was passed down through many generations of the town. But for Jack, it was never about the glory or the fame. It was about protecting the innocent and keeping his community safe. And that was a duty he would always be willing to undertake, no matter the cost. And so, Jack continued to hunt monsters. His courage and determination never faltering, always ready to face whatever horrors lay ahead. Wow. Short but certainly packing a bite. And I feel it is the beginning to an incredible series there. Once again, a big thank you to my brother from another mother, CryptidsRoost, for penning this and giving me the opportunity to narrate it on the show. Of course, guys, please do take a second to click the link and subscribe to CryptidsRoost channel. Some fantastic stuff over there, and a big fellow supporter of my own channel. As ever, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. Now, if you have a story to share with us on the channel, or would just like to get in touch with me, then please do so at the contact email, which is, as on screen, contactthedeadone@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to the summer, out with friends and family, enjoying good food and even better drink, and going on lots of adventures camping, hiking, or just a merry old stroll through the woods. Whatever it is that you do, I hope you're enjoying it and are giving it your all. But above all, guys, remember, be safe, not sorry.